Are you feeling the pressure of rising mortgage rates? Well, change is on the horizon. Stay tuned. Hi there, thanks for watching this week's video. It's Shirley with Shirley's Real Estate Group, John L. Scott, and this is the BS Real Estate Show, buying and selling real estate, that is. The big news as we enter September is all about the Fed and their latest moves. It's clear that rate cuts are coming. In fact, Fed Chair Jerome Powell recently said the time has come for a rate cut this September. For the past 2 years, we've seen a steady climb in mortgage rates, especially the 30-year fixed rate, largely driven by the Fed raising the federal funds rate. Now the conversation is shifting and we're seeing a different approach. It's worth remembering that when these hikes began 2 years ago, it was the fastest rise in the 30-year fixed mortgage rate in recorded history. And now, 2 years later, we may be at the beginning of a new chapter. The upcoming September Fed meeting has everybody wondering what's next for mortgage rates. To put this in perspective, let's look back over the past 2 years. It's almost like we've been through an economic sickness. Many of you might feel the same way. As rates climbed, it created significant affordability challenges, slowing down transactions and overall activity in the housing market. If you think about it, when you first start feeling sick, you wonder, am I really sick? Then you realize, yep, I am. You endure a few tough days and eventually the fever breaks. In much the same way, we've been battling high rates, but now we may be nearing the turning point where things start to improve. At the end of August, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said, the time has come for policy to adjust. In many ways, it feels like the fever is starting to break when it comes to the economic conditions that have been driving mortgage rates higher. Now, I'm not saying we're completely out of the woods, but we're on a different path. There are 2 reasons why this is happening. First and foremost, inflation is getting closer to the Fed's target rate. We're not quite where they want to be yet, but we're seeing progress. Inflation is coming down, and that's a key factor in the Fed's decision making. What's the other key factor? The unemployment rate is rising. Although it's still below the historical average over the last 50+ years, the Fed is concerned about further deterioration in the labor market. So with inflation coming down and unemployment rising, these signals suggest it's time to adjust policy. Lawrence, the chief economist at NAR, recently said generally the rate cutting cycle is not a one and done. 6 to 8 rounds of rate cuts all through 2025 look likely. So what does that tell us? The Fed is acting, they're adjusting their policy, and now we're headed in a new direction. In this chart, it shows that the 30-year fixed mortgage rate is expected to decline over the next 6 to 12 months. Now, predicting mortgage rates is never an exact science. It's not a matter of if you're wrong, but by how much and when. However, the key takeaway here is that we're on a different path moving forward. There was a survey by Bright MLS last year that revealed 70% of prospective buyers abandoned their home search due to rising mortgage rates and prices. These buyers are likely to re-enter the market as rates come down. I'm not saying we'll see a dramatic shift overnight, but this gives us a slight wind at our backs, which is a positive shift. Many people might wonder if they should wait for rates to drop further before buying a home. My advice is don't focus on waiting for the perfect rate. Consider the long-term benefits and opportunities in today's market. According to Jacob, senior economist at LendingTree, Timing the market is basically impossible. If you're always waiting for the perfect market conditions, you're going to be waiting forever. Buy now if it's a good idea for you. So in closing, as mortgage rates begin to ease and the market shifts, now could be a great time to explore your options. If you're thinking about buying or selling, let's connect and create a plan that works for you. Well, that's what I have for you this week. If there's a topic you'd like to hear about or a question you have, please let me know. If you like the content, don't forget to smash the subscribe button so you get future videos. Well, that's a wrap, and I'll see you in the next video.